And welcome to another great episode of Tampa Fishing Outfitters Radio Show. Your host, Captain Travis Yaeckel in the studios. We got a good special guest today, man. Mr. Tom Saxon with Pirates Point Resort down in Ruskin, Florida, come in and chat with us a little bit today. And then, as always, Big Country, as Jason would say it, Captain Rick Liles in the studio, guys. It's going to be another great show. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, a lot of good stuff going on this week.
It's going to be a really big show.
It's going to be a really big show. So
I'd just like to say thank you guys for having us in.
Absolutely.
No problem. Hey, this is our last show before our big fishing school this weekend.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna
kind of excited about that.
Absolutely. We Jason and I went over and talked with Tampa Fishing Outfitters yesterday and ironed out some details for the school and went up and looked in the classroom that we've got. If anybody went to the school last year, it's in the same place.
Upstairs,
just walk into Tampa Fishing Outfitters and you'll see right behind the desk there. You go up the stairs and we'll be up. I got an awesome little classroom up there. It's perfect for what we're doing, and it's going to be a great time. So real quick, I'll just flash it over real quick. If anybody is coming to the school, we're going to get there about 8 o'clock, actually about 7:30, get stuff set up. We're going to have coffee and donuts from about 8 to 9 o'clock. So anybody that wants to come in and have that stuff. And then
is that like a little meet and greet section?
Little meet and greet deal, yeah, kind of let everybody get in their spots and pick their places and kind of just BS a little bit. And then Jason's going to kick it off and we'll get her started. So it's going to be a great school. We're going to serve lunch as well. We're going to have drinks, ice water, Cokes. All that good stuff. So we're really looking forward to having a good time. So
it's going to be fun.
If you haven't signed up, I'll flash it real quick. That's going to be, like I said, it's going to be this Saturday, January 21st. Costs us $30 if you haven't signed up yet. And again, the outline as far as the captains goes, we got Captain Jason going to do some snook. We got Big Country Captain Rick going to do some trout. Kent Hickman's going to come in and do a little redfish deal. That's I'm gonna keep it a secret, but he's got some pretty cool stuff planned to go redfish. And then the man, Captain Jeremy Himes, is going to be in there talking some artificials. And I saw him put a couple of Facebook posts up this week. Looks like he's been doing pretty good. Fishing artificial, which is perfect conditions for now.
It really is.
To do some artificial. But then we're going to have some lunch, pass out some gift bags, do a little raffle deal, get you guys some cool stuff. And then following lunch, we're going to have Captain Jim Lemke do some tarpon stuff, which he's the man at tarpon. Been doing it for a long time. And then Captain Dave Dennison's going to do kingfish. And then me, I'm going to go out there and hopefully show you how to do a little cast net. And so it's going to be a great time, guys. If you haven't signed up, get on down and sign up for that. You can find us on the Facebook page, Tampa Fishing Outfitters Radio Show. There's an event link there, and there's a place you can go sign up there. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and do that. But in the meantime, guys, we're going to talk some fishing. I saw these guys at the ramp this morning. They were going out catching bait. And so, Tom, why don't you...
wait a minute. Before you get into Tom on this, let me tell everybody what we were greeted with at the boat ramp this morning. First of all, Travis is in a boat that I've never seen before. This is a orange. What kind is it? A yellowfin?
It was a yellowfin. It's actually our sponsor for the show.
It's an orange yellowfin.
JMI Flooring. It's their boat, and we did a little corporate deal for them.
And we were getting ready to drop in, and I see the truck pull in. I don't notice it to be your truck, and I'm looking at the boat. I'm like, that's a nice boat. And then I got busy back with what we were doing, and I dumped Tom in and pulled up and walked down, got in the boat, and as we're idling away, we hear her hollering, "Hey!" And I don't recognize you because I can't see past 50 yards anymore.
I didn't notice it.
And you're like 120 yards away, and I said, kind of looked like you talking to us, and you're like, "Hey, I'm your worst nightmare." I told Tom, I said, who in the world is this?
Right there.
Who is this?
We were questioning it. We didn't know who it was.
I said, who is this joker? I'm your worst nightmare. I said, who is that? I said, who are you? And you go, you don't recognize me? I'm like, no, obviously I don't. And Tom says, do you think that's Travis? I didn't recognize your voice. He goes, you think that's Travis? And then once we got a little closer, obviously I could see that goofy look. And
yeah, that's right.
Exactly
You can't miss that nowhere, baby.
But so anyway, go ahead, Tom. But that was our
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, that was a wonderful morning.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Well, Tom, tell us, like I said, after you guys were rudely interrupted trying to go get bait this morning. How was your fishing today, bud?
It was actually pretty good. We tried a couple of spots for some trout, and trout was slow for us. We didn't get on any this morning, but we found some good snook holes and got on probably about 50, 51 snook.
Good.
Between three of us today.
You sure it wasn't 52?
No, it was about 51, 50, 51.
He's a good counter.
So, yeah, Aunt Frances kept good count of them.
Aunt Frances was on it,
Oh,
brother.
yeah, she was on it.
Yes, sir.
She made sure she was ahead of me, too.
Yes, sir. Well, we had a good day. I mean, I think, Rick, you didn't fish today, did you?
I did not fish. I went with Tom to catch bait, and I had some. I'll tell you what, my daughter got married Saturday.
Right.
And
Congratulations.
And
by
I've
the
only
way.
fished once since
congratulations.
last week's show. Thank you, by the way. And I fished Friday, and I had a terrible day. I couldn't catch a metal fish with a magnet Friday, and so I haven't been on the water. I fished tomorrow and Friday of this week, which this is Wednesday. If you're listening to this on Sunday, I just fished 2 days, by the way. But so I've been returning tables and just kind of trying to get the house back in order from the wedding, because it was
Doing the daddy dues.
it was a long process of weddings. I didn't realize what was all involved in a wedding, because when I got married, my wife kind of did everything, and then as my daughter gets married, everything is at the house, and,
Sure.
and it goes from the house to the church, or to where the reception was and all that. So anyway, I've been off the water for a week, and getting back after it again tomorrow. But so for me, my last report, they say you're as good as your last trip. I'm terrible. I suck. I don't have nothing good to say.
You're on the zero
I'm on
list,
the
ain't
zero.
you?
I'm on the snide. I had a tough day. We caught maybe a dozen fish all day.
Yeah.
On Friday for
Yeah.
me, and that was tough. So anyway, you have to.
Well, I mean,
Get a
we
fish
fi-
report
we
from
fished
someone else.
today, and it was we actually put together a really nice day. It was a slow start, to be honest with you. Went out and got piles of bait this morning. Had a little snafu with some bait pumps on that fancy old yellowfin. But I mean, there's nothing. What's wrong with switches, man? I mean, why's everything got to go fancy? But
They don't
anyway,
have
I couldn't
switches?
figure out how to turn bait pumps on this morning, so it made it difficult catching bait. But I ended up getting all that situated and went and picked the guys up and started off a little bit slow. We ended up getting on some of them nice big 10, 15-pound jacks in the river,
God, I love
which are
those
just
things.
a blast.
Yes.
And we had one guy, I kind of teased him a little bit. We were fishing a little creek, and I told the guys, I said, these fish have been laying down in these creek bottoms on this lower water. They can't get up in the bushes. I said, we're going to go in here and try. And I was loaded down with bait, so we started chumming, and one good snook come up. I mean, he must have been, I don't know, 30, 33 inches, 34 inches, somewhere in there. Nice, good snook. Comes up, and he's just swimming on the surface and just absolutely smashes a bait, just kind of rolls on it right there in front of the boat. We all saw it. And literally, like 5 seconds later, these guys double up, and it's like, holy smokes, we got a snook on. And one of them was a jack, and one of them just peeled it out, man, like dragster style. And I'm like, dude, I think you got him, man. And fish ended up getting away from us, but there's nothing like those jacks, man. I mean,
Right. They will
when you
freight
get
train
them, when you get them up past 10 pounds, I
Yes.
mean, they're tough to tell, because a lot of times when you catch the smaller jacks, they do the old loop-de-loop. They go
And you get
around
the
the
little
boat,
thump,
around
thump,
the boat,
thump, thump,
get a little
thump,
thumpity
thump,
thump. But when they get a little bit bigger, man, they'll play possum on you, man.
Yeah.
You don't know what they are. But anyhow, so we played with some jacks in the river, got a few snook, got a few trout, got a couple nice smaller redfish, and then as that water turned and started coming back in is really where the bite was. It was an afternoon bite for us. And we got back up near the Cockroach Bay area on that incoming water. And, I mean, we lit the snook up. We had trout. We had, I believe I saw a couple redfish. We didn't catch any redfish, but that water's so clear back there that you can really see. And so, all in all, it was a great day. The guys took home redfish and trout for dinner and we probably released 20, 25 snook today with a couple up near the 30-inch range. So,
Well,
it was a good day.
Did you happen to notice the water temperature?
You know what? Personally, I did, but I didn't. And the reason why I say that is there was an update that was done on my, it's kind of all falls back into the morning that I didn't know about, because the Lowrance unit that my buddy has on his boat, JMI, it was updated by a buddy of his to the newest software. Well, in the process of that, it kind of messed up a bunch of different things as far as the way it operated, and they turned because they had control over the pumps and everything through the GPS. Well, in the interim, it messed up his transducer.
So you don't know.
So yeah, well, I was sitting there, right, and I go, hey, let me see what this water temperature is, because you're like me, I always want to know what I'm fishing. Well, I go and I pull up the transducer, and I look, and it was 45 degrees, and I said, well,
that ain't right.
Pretty sure that ain't right. But the water was nice and cool. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say that water in the river was about 70, 71 degrees if I had to guess.
That's good though. I mean, that's
I wouldn't say it was cold, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was hot. It was a nice swimming temperature. But like I said, in the morning they didn't want to eat for some reason. We got them boiling and rolling, and they were kind of wanting to play. And really, once that water started coming back in, is really when the bite picked up. And then we had to bail, and I had to go clean fish and get on down here. But it was a good day, and we had a great time. So that's what it's about. But yeah, and as far as the weather goes, I mean, can you get better weather than what we had today?
You couldn't have it better weather than what you had today.
I mean, it was that yellowfin runs about 60 mile an hour, buddy, and let me tell you what, I made it out there to get bait real quick, man. But it was a beautiful day. I mean, you can see I put sunscreen on twice today, and I still got a little sunburnt, and we're here in the middle of January.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but
the cold's on the way, I hear though.
Yeah,
sorta.
I think we're gonna have a little something coming here towards the end of the week, which may be about the time that you guys are on radio that follow us, that you're hearing it. So hopefully it doesn't affect the fishing too much, and I don't think it will. I think we're due for a little bit of cold weather.
We need some cold
weather. I had talked last week about doing some sheepshead fishing. It's been so hot, I really hadn't gone out and done it. We've still been playing in the backcountry.
Hey, as long as you're snooker eating,
100%.
I'm gonna stay with it.
100%. Yep. But
I got a trip tomorrow that originally booked was shark fish at the power plant. These guys wanted to catch sharks on light tackle.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sure.
I'm gonna take them to do elsewhere, other things, but that's typically the middle of January. You're pretty rock solid on catching.
Oh yeah,
sharks at the power
we're in
plant,
straight wintertime finding warm water mode.
Yeah, it's
we're
crazy.
not there, but I'll take it, man. I'll spring fish all up. I'll spring fish
You'll
from
spring
now
fish
on.
all winter,
You're
won't you?
dang right, baby. You're dang right.
All the way through spring.
That's it, all the way, guys. Well, hey, listen, we're coming up here on the end of the first segment. We want to thank everybody that's tuning in on Facebook and YouTube and checking out what we got. So, guys, we're going to take a little break. Again, it's Captain Travis in the studio. We got my good buddy Tom Saxon here with Pirates Point, which we're going to talk about, and Big Rick. We're going to come back, guys. We're going to have some tides and weather. In the meantime, you're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show on Sports Talk 10-4 to the team. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show on Sports Talk 10-4 to the team. You're listening to the dudes. Myself, Captain Travis Yaeckel in the studio. Big man Tom Saxon here from Pirates Point. And we got the man, the weatherman. We're going to get you a little hat, man.
Hey.
The weatherman. We have designated Rick as the weatherman. So I have no responsibility for weather.
Well, I got some weather here. But
real quick, I want
to get to this. It says, Philip, you say that weddings are easier than fishing is right now. Man, unless you're eloping, that ain't right. A wedding is never easier than fishing at any time. Or maybe my family just is a little harder to deal with during weddings. I'm going to tell you what, my wife and my daughter have a fantastic relationship, but we had some tense moments.
Tension?
Yeah, last 2 weeks we had some tense moments. But anyway,
a few times he showed
I
up
have,
in there.
and real quick, disagree with Philip on that one.
For those that are listening on radio and not checking us out on Facebook, Captain Mike Goodwine followed up with what I was saying there, and I appreciate it, bud.
Yeah.
He said the water on his boat was reading 69 degrees.
Yeah.
So that's about where I thought we were. Now the river's normally just a touch maybe cooler, a
Yeah.
little warmer than probably where unless he was fishing the river. But I'd say we're right there around that 70-degree mark. Based
Well, if
on
you're in the river and you get in a sheltered area,
the
that's
pockets,
not
it
getting no
just depends on
wind
what creek you're in,
so-
and if you're in that main flow.
But I mean, it's going to be between 68 and 72.
Sure,
pretty much everywhere you go.
100%.
But anyway,
what about the weather, Rick?
You
What do
got
we
some
on
weather. Well, this is Sunday's weather, and which is what the radio listeners are going to get. Today's high is 79. The low is going to be 61. A 90% chance of rain, and chance of some severe thunderstorms, with winds southwest at 25. So
That's weird. That's a
it's
tropical.
It's honking.
That's tropical though. Coming out of the southwest.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's tropical, man. That's
It's
coming from
tropical,
the
but
East Coast.
it's getting after it. And then as far as the tides go, 619 was our low this morning, and it was a 0.33. And then it's kind of a crappy tide. The tide's going to come in all day till 10:19 this evening. It's going to be a 1.84. So it's going to come up about 1.5 feet, and going to take 16 hours. Almost 16. Well, actually, we'll take 16 hours to get there. So, not real good.
People always ask me, and I know you get the comments or questions all the time when you get people call. What's the best time to do this? What's the best time to do that? As a guide, I do my best to say, hey, this is what I think is going to be better. This is what I think maybe the little slower period of the day. This is the time of year really where it's tough to predict, man. I mean, it really is because of the weather patterns that we've had. I mean, generally we know that before a front, pressure drops, fish chew. After a front, takes a day or two, and then they will end up staging up in some area and want to feed after a front because they've sat down. But, really this pattern that we've had throughout January and even what you want to call winter has been kind of just all over the place, man. I mean, I was catching fish today on the flats. I was catching snook today on the flats in a springtime spot that I can't tell you when the last time I fished out there on the winter. Now, I'll go out there and sight fish reds and stuff on some of these bars because they're not quite as subject to the cold water. Doesn't bother them quite as bad. They'll still get up there and tail and live in that shallow water, which, real quick, most of the redfish that I've seen have been in very, very shallow water. They like that. They're getting up there eating the crabs.
The ones I've
shrimp.
seen definitely have been.
They've been really, really shallow, almost to the point where you go, man, we can't even get our boat up here. But those redfish are there. Get out and wade like we've talked about on some of these negative tides, and you'll end up seeing some of these fish. But real quick, guys, like I said, we've got Tom Saxon in the studio tonight, and I want to kind of pass it over to him for just a few minutes and let him talk a little bit about Pirates Point, which is a resort down in Ruskin, an awesome little place. If you've never been there, you need to come check it out. And I'm going to let Tom talk a little bit about it and tell you how you can do that.
It's me and my wife. We're the owners of Pirates Point. We're right there on the Little Manatee River. We've got a boat dock. You can bring your boat right up to it, or you can come by car right off Shell Point Road, 19th Street. We've got 16 cottages, anything ranging from a 5-bedroom up to, or from studio up to a 5-bedroom. Different price ranges. We've even got private pool behind the 5-bedroom. If you guys people are interested in like a family reunion type deal,
right?
That 5-bedroom can sleep 12 people comfortably. And
what's
that's
the monthly rent on that? Maybe I'll just
on the
move on in over there.
5-bedroom. It's $295 a night.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $295 a night.
Times 30.
Now, understand, if you guys come in for long-term stays, weekly rates, we don't have a weekly rate. What we do is we take the nightly rate, but you stay for 7 nights, and we only charge you for 6. So
Gotcha.
you're getting 1 night free.
Right.
And then we've also got some people that come and stay with us during the month. For a month at a time. I mean, like right now, we've got Ted and Lynn Baxter that been with us for 6-7 years now, and every year they come down and stay with us 2 months, and then they'll go back to Alaska. But monthly rates, what we do is you pay for say there's 31 days in a month, you would only pay for 27.
Okay.
We give you, wait a minute, take that back, my math was wrong. 31 days, you'd pay for 24 days.
Okay.
You pay 24 days, and we give you 1 week free in a month.
That's a heck of a deal.
And it is. And,
Yeah.
Try that at any other resort.
and I tell you, you call it a resort.
It is.
I call it a getaway.
It is.
I mean,
it
it's,
is.
in terms of that feel. When you go to Pirates Point, I've been
Old
going
Florida feel.
It
It's got an
is.
old Florida
Exactly.
feel.
And that's what it is. A lot of our customers, if you go on and check our reviews, they'll call it Little Key West.
Right.
We got tropical plants that you will not see anywhere this far north. We've got some of the best tropical plants around here.
They got a killer pool, man.
And our pool, we got a center pool that's in the middle of our courtyard. That one's for everybody that comes in. Yes, there is a private pool behind the 5-bedroom, but everybody else can enjoy the main pool, which is heated.
And
The private pool is not heated.
It's skinny dipping after dark. Am I correct on that? Did I hear
Well,
that earlier?
we do not limit the pool hours. All we ask you to do is respect the other guests.
Well,
So-
there was some talk earlier, and I didn't. I was
Well-
texting, and I didn't hear maybe that whole conversation. But so really, I'm wrong
Rick,
with that.
for you,
can't skinny
No,
dip
no,
after
no,
that.
Hey.
no.
Well, I wasn't going to go
All
do
I'm
it.
going to say
you can
is
go in
just,
the river. You can
I've
go in
got
the
to
river.
clean the
You
pool
know,
in the
I-
mornings.
I wasn't,
That's all I'm
hey,
gonna ask.
That's
I
dark
wasn't
water.
going to participate, but it's to do a drive-by look and see. You never know what's.
That's why he's creeping around there about 8, 9 o'clock.
All right, now I know. I thought he was over there looking
That's
for
the
more
old peeping-
customers to
that's
go
the old-
fishing.
That's the old peeping Rick and then plants he was talking about.
You've heard of
son.
Peeping Tom? Well,
That's
Yeah.
old peeping Rick, man. That's old peeping Rick.
Well,
but no,
One other thing I do want to say, Travis,
Go for it,
real
buddy.
quick. Anybody that calls us, and I will give you the numbers. We've got a 1-877-641-2052, or you can call 813-641-2052 to reserve your room with us. Anybody that calls in and tells them that they heard me on the radio and tells us what radio station you heard us on gets a 15% discount.
boom. Say it again. Say it
Take
again.
that.
Light it up.
15% discount.
take that.
So all you got to do is call in and let us know that you heard us on Sports Talk Radio.
Nice. And what was that number again? Give us one more. Give it to us one more time, Tom.
The phone number is 1-877-641-2052 or 813-641-2052.
Nice.
And Jimmy Beagle, I did not go to Hooters before the show. I just saw that. Nope. Not saying we won't hit it on the way home.
I tell you what, man, Beagle. I love Beagle, man. He's a big teddy bear. He acts all big and bad. I'm gonna talk about it right now. He talks all big and bad, man. You get down there, he's like a big old teddy bear. Don't listen to none of this jazz.
And we love that guy. Hey,
he is,
let's
man.
go ahead
I'll
and
tell you
plug
what,
them right now.
Alphi Marine, baby. Let's
Hey,
talk about it.
Game over.
Game
Alphi
over.
Marine. Go get you some
no
of that.
doubt, man. And they have been a blessing to us South Shore guides,
Yes.
especially since Beagles took over. I mean, they've really made it a point to take care of everybody that walks in or comes into
Without a doubt.
their store, and they do a really good job. Jesse and Alex down there, they do a great job servicing the boats. They're really knowledgeable people, and when it comes to that type of stuff, you want somebody that's not out to take your money. They're out to fix your boat. In the process, they take a little bit of your money, which is due.
Well,
But-
they have to make a living.
100%. But
Yep.
what I mean by that is they're not going to fix something they don't need to.
Right.
And they're not going to make you pay for something you don't need to.
That's
They're
right.
honest people, and I'll stand up behind them any day of the week.
Yep.
And I imagine, or I know that most folks that go there will. So
We got
We
your
just
back,
wanna-
Beagle. We got
your back, baby. We got your back. But guys, no, it's we're going to talk a little bit more about this fishing thing, and Captain Steve Nagy there, or Nag, I'm not sure how to say his name, but he's down in the I think he's down in the southern part of the state there, and he just kind of commented on Facebook. He says the bite has been very difficult to predict since the end of November,
Yeah.
and it really has. I mean, granted, I keep a pretty good log, especially doing the redfish tour and stuff of where I've been and what schools of fish I've been on, and I can open up my book right now, and it's like, go to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I mean, really, now we can go find fish and we can do that, but it really has been a search and destroy type fishing the last few weeks, and I kind of like it, Rick. I kind of like getting off the beaten path and trying to figure out some different stuff and do a little bit different stuff. So,
Yes.
don't be afraid to get out there, especially this beautiful weather we've had. Now, I know if it's Sunday, you've got a little front coming in, but hopefully you can get out there and after this passes and get on some fish. Maybe the water cool down, and I'm hoping to do some sheep's head fishing.
You say
I
that.
really am.
Tom and I were talking about that today. It's because I think he's going tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and give him a shot tomorrow.
Are you a
see if
fiddler
I can
guy?
get it.
Got some
When
family
you,
in
hey,
town.
when you get to the store, you gotta have fiddlers, baby.
He's a
Yep,
fiddler guy.
I'm gonna get the fiddlers.
That's it, man.
Yep.
That's it.
But
guys.
I haven't targeted myself sheephead one time this year. Not one time.
I've caught a few, not by targeting them, but just kind of poking around, and they're there. They're in some spots, but they're not like they should
I
be.
see them,
Yeah.
but I ain't trying to catch them.
I know it. Well, guys, one more time, we're gonna mention every break here, but I'm gonna flash it up again real quick. We got our fishing school coming up this Saturday. It's gonna be an awesome event. Cost us $30 to sign up. Got some awesome gift bags, great information from some local captains and professional redfish tournament guys. We got sponsors like Unfair Lures, Mirror Lures, Z-Man, Gills, Rapala, Procure, Cactus Juice. We're giving away Daiwa stuff. We got a couple pairs of Smiths, Ohiro, Humpback cast nets. So if you haven't signed up, we got a couple more spots available to get you in there. Make sure you do that, and we're looking forward to seeing you. If you haven't already signed up, give us a shout and let us know.
Are you gonna be taking one of those humpbacks right out of the bucket and throw Saturday?
I'm planning on bringing my net, so we got a couple extras.
Yeah.
But that's what we're gonna plan on throwing is them humpbacks.
Well, what time is the last question, Travis? That's all I need to know.
What time is that?
That way I know what time to show up.
We're just gonna kill it. We're just gonna kill it. I'm gonna say you are fake fishermen. You don't get a question. It is game over.
Yes.
It is
Stop
game
being
over.
rude.
All right.
Game over. Well, guys, you're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show on Sports Talk 1040 The Team, and we got the next segment coming up. It's going to be the Come On Man.
Oh man.
We're going to take a little break, guys. When we get back, you're going to hear the Come On Man. You're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show on Sports Talk 1040 The Team. We'll be right back.
I was just gonna try and get the name real quick.
And we're back. You're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show on Sports Talk 1040 The Team. Myself, Captain Travis Yaeckel in the studio. Captain Jason Prieto. He is absent, man. He is absente. He's working on his new boat. He got his new Canyon Bay, and he's been ironing out some bugs on that to get his trips dialed in. And so we're going to hear covering for him tonight. It's myself, Captain Travis Yaeckel. We got our man Tom Saxon here with Pirates Point, and the big dog over there, the big man, Big Grizz, Captain Rick Liles in the house,
It's
baby.
a new name every time.
It's a new one. The Wind Dancer. We got Grizz. We got Big Country. But no, guys, we're in the studio. We're talking some fishing, and if you're just tuning in, basically what we've been talking about is the weird weather we've been having.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily bad. I mean, it's enjoyable fishing weather. Today there was like zero wind, man. I flew across the bay, got bait, come back, and be honest with you, I fished in the river quite a bit, and I fished around Cockroach. We didn't go far, and we caught a ton of fish. So there's fish to be had. Make sure to get some whitebait, man. I mean, it's still around. Take advantage of it. I mean, I know this time of year we're normally using shrimp, but there's plenty of whitebait around. It's good bait too.
There was a ton of white bait.
Good bait.
Yes.
I mean, most of the markers out throughout the bay have got bait on it. I've even still seen plenty of bait on the flats.
Hey, do you remember a couple years ago there was an article in the Tribune? I think it was the Tribune. It may not have been the Tribune, but it was talking about the whitebait and the birds being hungry, and whoever the ding dong that wrote this article was, and
The
I don't
bean bag?
the beanbag that wrote the article. I don't remember who it was, or I would call him by name, but they were pushing to limit how much bait we could catch out there because we're
taking stuff from the
taking
birds.
bait from the birds, and think of all the bait that we're seeing. Can you imagine?
Well, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean,
It's been 2 or 3 years ago, but it was an article that they wrote, and that's where they were going with it. They wanted to limit us and put some restrictions and not just us as captains.
Right.
I'm talking about fishermen.
In general,
period.
like a limit. Could you see me out there in the morning counting the daggum baits in my? Well, guys, we only can have 150.
Well, I think where they were actually kind of wanting to go with this is you would be buying you a bait license.
Well,
If you want to catch live bait, you're gonna go get you a bait license.
I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't know if I'd agree with that. I mean,
I ain't agreeing with any of it.
that seems a little out left field to me.
Hey,
but,
those birds are eating, and they ain't paying taxes.
Right?
I'm paying taxes.
I'll just wear a bird suit.
Those baits is mine.
I'll just wear a big bird suit in
Yeah.
the morning.
Well, hey, come
Like
on,
a
man.
pelican.
You got a come on, man? Because I don't have a come on, man, but I got a, hey, don't do that kind of thing.
Let's hear it.
Got this guy in the boat the other day, one of my guests from Pirates Point, real good guy, and he was actually, what he did, he was doing for the right reason. He's hung up in a tree, and he's pulling and pulling and pulling, and when it finally comes out, it's coming right at him, and I'm behind him. So and I'm using a float, as it's coming this way, he sticks the rod up to hit the float because he's worried about it hitting me. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. You want to see the worst tangled knot mesh you've ever had in your life with line, you've just found it.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't.
And it would have been a come on,
Don't.
man, but he was like, man, I was protecting you.
I'll take a bullet for you,
You
man.
So,
I'll
he's
take
like,
a
we
bullet
ain't
for you,
catching no
man.
fish. I might as well have you untangle this line.
That's it. That's it. And I'm scrolling up here on Facebook, guys. We got a couple guys chiming in. It looks like Captain Mike Goodwine was at Cockroach today, and he said a couple dudes come in and had a load of sheep's head, which is what I've been seeing too. We just haven't been out there to catch them. He says they're biting pretty good, and I don't know where they're fishing, but it's just something where normally it's a fallback. It's not something like I would say, hey man, this is unbelievable. We got to go sheep's head fishing.
Well, that depends, though.
But if I've got something, if I don't have anything else to really fall back on that's good, and I give them an option, say, hey man, you want to go catch sheep's head? Do you like sheep's head?
Yeah.
Then let's go do it.
But you're gonna find that as I got some clients they'll call me and
Right.
say, hey, we want to do it. And in fact, I got a guy right now that fishes with me every winter a few times. He wants to do a sheephead trip, and I've just kind of been putting him off. And we've been going trout fishing because he's a meat hunter. He wants meat. So we've been doing the trout thing. And I don't, I just haven't been going and getting shrimp and that sort of deal. But, I got to fish with him here in about a week and a half. I'm going to go with it, especially now that Mike says that they're chewing the bottom off the boat. Man, I'm going to go give it a shot because I typically wait. Usually when gasparilla time is when I'm in the heart of my sheephead fishing. When that gasparilla is all going on. And I think that's this coming weekend. And I haven't been, so that's good to hear for what Mike said there. I'm gonna go give it a shot with some guys that want to do that. But you say fall back, and I do get that because there's times that we definitely fall back on sheephead, but there's times that's my target.
Yeah.
I mean that's
what I was gonna say was, and while you talking about some of your northern clients and wanting to come down and do some of that stuff,
don't tell them sheephead.
That's what I was getting ready to say, and last year it happened to me where I talked to some guys. I said, and you're like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, guys, the sheep's head bite's been really good. Oh,
Crucify
no.
You.
Oh, no, we don't want a sheep's head. And so I did a little investigating, and there's what they call a sheep's head up north is not what we call a sheep's head, or it's not the same fish that we're fishing for down here.
No, it's a carp.
It's a junk fish
It's
to
a
them.
carp, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, man, these things are great. We're gonna wreck them, man. We're gonna get fiddlers, and we're gonna crush them, bro. And they're like, no, man, we'd rather, you got any catfish?
Fiddlers.
You got any catfish? Now catfish, we're on to. You know what I mean? But no, so you just gotta play the cards you dealt, Rick. That's
Fiddlers.
The fiddlers, man.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, get it right, man. Get it right.
So when you're in the bait shop, you go in there and say, hey.
I just go in there.
You don't even have
I
to
didn't
say
say
nothing.
nothing.
You just do this, and they say, give me 2 dozen fiddlers.
Fiddlers. And if you're fishing around a guy and he does this, that means put the shrimp away. Just put the
He's
fiddlers
fiddler
on.
fish,
It's
yeah.
sign.
I
That's
like
code.
it.
That's
That's
fiddler
That's
code.
fiddler code.
That's fiddler
All
code.
right.
Yep.
Now we know.
Now that I know.
Oh man. But no, and talking about sheep's head, real quick, because some people will ask me, well, where do you go to catch sheep? I mean, how do you target them? Well, granted, most of the time you're going to see them on seawalls, rock piles, structure, anywhere you've got some oysters or some growth. These fish are feeding on little small crabs, little small shrimp. They'll actually eat the oysters and eat the mussels out of the oysters. But I was doing a seminar a couple weeks ago, and it kind of came up, and I said, to me, the way I fish for sheep's head is I draw a line basically out of Little Harbor, straight across the bay. I don't go any farther south than that line. Most of my sheep's head fishing is done from, say, Little Harbor all the way up to McKay Bay.
Right.
McKay Bay, and I'm not gonna go too and far, with it, but it's an awesome spot.
Sure.
If you've never been up there, it takes you a minute to figure it out. But I kind of grew up fishing up in that area, fishing McKay Bay and up near the Palm River. And if you fish up that way, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, on some of these days where we get this nasty weather, where we get high winds and it's real cold, go up there and kind of cruise around a little bit. Normally you can get protected, you can get some shrimp, and head up that way. And mangrove snapper, black drum, sheep's head, you're gonna find all that stuff around those docks, around those pylons. And most of the time there's some pretty big sheep's head up that way if you get them dialed in. And as Brett Norris said, you gotta think like a pylon.
That was pretty good.
That was his tip of the week for sheep's head fishing, was you got to think like a pylon. So
that was good. Hey, I got is this Bust My Chops Day?
It's Bust Your Chops Day.
Look at this. Tiger says, knock some of those barnacles off the bottom of your boat and it will be game on, Rick.
That's how he
your
gets
boat.
Them. That's how he gets
That's
them.
That's not
there.
my boat.
I'm clear now.
My boat's clean.
Dude, my boat is not even
you
made
had
yet.
barnacles, not me.
Mine's
Tiger,
still in the
what's
mold.
up with that? Yeah. You don't even have gel coat
I
yet.
don't even have a gel coat yet.
Man.
Oh, man.
I'm taking a beating here.
Well, you are. We're going to whip you up.
Whip it up.
Whip you up. But, guys, real quick, getting into the last segment of the show is flying by, and I hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate you for tuning in. And what we want to do real quick, again, is let Tom Saxon take it over for a second and talk a little bit about Pirates Point. Tell us where it's at. Tell us how you can get down there and get you a room reserved. I know spring's coming up. If you like to get out and do a little fishing in our area, it's a perfect place to come down. You got your own, rooms. You got your own little area that you can chill out with family and do your own thing. So, Tom, tell us a little bit of how you can get to Pirates Point.
Well, I do want to say real quick, you can go on the website and check us out. We do have a virtual tour. It's www.piratespointresort.com. Check that out and check the virtual tour. We've got 16 studios, or not 16 studios, take that back, 16 cottages. Anything from a studio up to a 5-bedroom. 5-bedroom's got a private pool. Each one of our cottages has its own private patio. You've also got your own kitchenette. Mm-hmm. Even in our studios, you got your own kitchenette with a stove, refrigerator, everything you need. All you need to do is just bring your food and your clothes. The bed's there, the TV. We got cable, internet. We even rent you grills. We got gas grills. We got charcoal grills. You take your choice. One other thing I will say is during the holidays, Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, Labor Day, I've got a smoker out there that this was
knock your socks off.
Yeah, this is a smoker this is a smoker from hell. But I'm not afraid to fire it up. I will fire it up. We'll get we'll put some meat on there and we'll smoke us some stuff up. Whatever. I mean, I even done fish fries for guys that come back in. They come up and they catch a mess of fish with you guys. They'll come up and ask me if I'll do them a fish fry. I'll fire up the fryers right there and we'll do a fish fry.
And when they do the big cookouts on the holidays, Tom and I are the cornhole champions.
Yeah.
Cornhole.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm coming.
We've got cornhole.
Real quick, let me say this. When you punch in Pirates Point, it's Pointe.
Yes.
There's an E on there.
There is an E at the end. Don't forget the E. But yeah, me and Rick, we're cornhole champions at Pirates Point. So to take over that, you're going to have to beat us.
Well, I'm coming, dude.
No,
I am coming. Hey, any cornhole masters out there, you looking for a partner? I'm ready. Is that a challenge?
It's a challenge. It's out there.
It's out there. Challenge. Well, guys, we're getting challenged. We're getting challenged.
You youngsters bring it.
The youngsters bring it. We're going to bring it, guys. But in the meantime, real quick before we bring it, we're going to take a little break. You're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show on Sports Talk 1040 The Team. We got one more segment coming up, the Captain's Tip of the Week. Hang tight, and we'll be right back, guys. You're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters on Sports Talk 1040 The Team.
Stop by Tampa Fishing Outfitters today and check out our Ohiro product line. Rods, reels, fluorocarbon lines, braided lines, hooks, and much more. Packed with an incredible inventory of over 10,000 items in stock. Tampa Fishing Outfitters is the perfect destination for any of your fishing needs. We also carry a great selection of sunglasses and fishing apparel. Our knowledgeable guides are here to answer all of your questions and to repair your rods and reels. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations for all of your fishing needs. Tampa Fishing Outfitters. If we don't have it, you don't need it.
Welcome back to Tampa Fishing Outfitters radio show, Sports Talk 1040 The Team. You got Captain Rick, Captain Travis, and our good buddy Tom Saxon from Pirates Point Resort. And this last segment, we don't have to give it right now, but the last segment is our Pirates Tip of the Week. It's our Pirates Tip.
It's our Pirates Tip.
It's our Captain's Tip of the Week. But I just saw what Mike Goodwine put on there. You're right, Mike. I got barnacles all over the boat, inside like water lines and filter canisters and all that. They just grow like mad and you knock them off. But I have none on the bottom of the hull.
That reminds me of the movie. You're talking about pirates, talking about oysters. You ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
And the guys that are on that boat,
Yeah,
they got the oysters and the crabs hanging off of them.
Yeah.
You'd be a great fit for that, Rick.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, you're already halfway
We're
there.
going to dress him up, Gasparilla, and he's going to
Hey.
go up and hand out our brochures
Hey, I got
up
the
at
wedding out of the
Gasparilla
way,
Parade.
so the rogue look's coming back.
The road looks, I like it.
It's coming
You just
back.
don't look the same.
I don't
mean,
feel the same.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't feel the same.
No. And I believe, did you increase your speed on the boat?
When I cut my hair,
Yeah.
probably 2 knots.
There was a
I can
conversation
see
that
where
went
I'm
around
going
on,
now.
There was a conversation that went around on Facebook a few, I don't know if it was a week or so ago, but they were talking about scratches on the bottom of the hull and how it affected the hull
Oh
performance
my
and,
goodness,
and
really?
the bubbles on the boat or something. I said, man, get underneath my boat. Tell me what you think.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, my boat is always clean when I pick up charters. It's not always clean at the end of the day, but it gets cleaned every day. And I had some, and I won't mention any names, but I had a couple captains busting my chops here about 3 years ago about it. We was all docked up. I got some stains. I got some nicks. I got some as my dad would call them, character marks. And they're like, man, you need.
And you earned them.
And they were just giving me a whole ration. I told them, I said, let me tell you boys something. If you'll drag more fish over the side of your boat, you'll get some of this.
That's what I'm talking about.
So if you want to get after it, get after it. But I'm just telling you right now, you want to keep a nice little clean boat that you have people wipe their feet off on a towel and get in, and you do what you got to do. Drag some fish over the side of that sucker, and you will see that they do get messed up.
Captain Rick, wisdom.
Nah.
Well, I agree, Rick. I mean, hey, dude, I'm running the Triton. I may have to princess up a little bit when
Well, you will.
when the new one
obviously-
gets there. But once that second scratch, it's like,
But look, man,
game over.
you're going to get scratches.
It's gonna happen.
You cannot go get your gel coat fixed every time you knock a flake off of it.
That's like you said, that's character.
You
man.
get
That's character.
stains and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you right now, don't let an 8-year-old with a bag of an 8-year-old that has ADD and a bag of M&Ms in your boat.
Dude.
M&Ms.
No,
They
Doritos or
no,
Cheetos.
No, the
Horrible.
M&Ms, the
Horrible.
M&M stain. So you'll get a little blue spot and a little yellow spot and a little orange spot and a little red spot. It takes time. Whatever I'm washing my boat with, don't get that off. And I live on the water, so I try not to use anything real detergent because I can put my boat on my lift and I don't want all that going out my inlet. So, I wash it, but I don't use the strong detergents and bleach and all that.
Right.
So those kind of things, they just have to wear off a little bit, but they're clean. It's clean, but it could be stained. Just saying.
Just a little.
Just saying.
That's like a dirty pair of underwear. You just can't get it out. But hey, they work the same, don't they?
Well, they could be clean.
They could be
They
clean,
just
but
don't
stained.
look new. What's your tip of the week, man?
Tip
Come
of the
on.
week, man.
Tip of the week.
I tell you, my tip of the week, and I've kind of talked about it before, but really, man, as fast paced as our fishing is going, spring's gonna be here in no time. We got one more month, and maintenance has been like I've had some days off here and there, and a lot of times what we particularly as captains will do is use them as rest days and go, man, lay back and try to take a breather or go do some marketing or go do something else, and really, if you guys run a trailer, it's a perfect time to go work on your trailers. Not too hot, not too cold. Go get your parts, go do your stuff now, because when spring hits, man, it's just go time. You don't want to spend a day that Saturday or that Sunday working on your boat when some of the best fishing of the year is around. Right. So that's what I would recommend. Alify Marine, I can't say it enough again. Bring your boat down there to them, have them go through it. Even if it's just a service, do your normal water pump, do your oil change, do your lower unit, oil change. If you've got that one item that you've been wanting to put on, maybe it's a power pole, maybe it's a new live well pump, maybe it's a bubbler, maybe whatever it is, go ahead and do it now so that you're not stressed out doing it when the real fishing gets here. And so that's going to be my tip of the week, because that's something that I've been doing. I moved my dock over. I moved over, Jason ended up moving his dock out of Little Harbor, so I spent a couple days moving my stuff over, getting the fillet table all ready to go, water hooked up, electric hooked up, and all that kind of stuff. So. And
by the way, it looks good down there.
Thank you.
It looks good.
Thank you. I'm trying to look professional.
You got a good little setup.
I appreciate it. But anyway, so that'd be my tip of the week: is don't lay back, don't rest, put your work in, get your stuff done, so when playtime gets here, you can go enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say.
That's good.
What about you, Rick?
Man, I tell you what, something. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I come in with today for my tip of the week.
Well, that banana shirt you got going there.
Hey, this is my Pirate's Point, baby.
Hey, easy. He's just jealous he don't have one.
I didn't get one, man. I didn't get one.
Pirate's Point's my #1 sponsor, and I appreciate them. And I just got my new shirts from them, and I represent.
Well, anybody out there looking for Pirates Point shirts, we do have them on sale at Pirates Point.
They do.
Travis.
Good.
Travis, yes.
Good. I got to get me some.
Hey, they're $15 a piece or 2 for $45. We'll hook you up.
I'm not that good at math, but I'm not that bad either. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, real quick, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was gear. And some of the stuff, this is the time of year where I kind of revamp my programs. I'm ordering new gear for the year. I'm ordering new products to put on charters all year. And Bull Bay Rods is a company that a lot of people have heard about. Maybe they've never used a rod, but I want to talk a little bit about them. Back in 2012, I ran into a guy named Kelly Phillips on the kayak redfish tour and ended up talking to him a little bit. And I got the second Bull Bay rod they ever made. And I went out to Lakeland a couple times and met with him, and we talked a little bit about some of the things that I liked in a rod, that he liked in a rod. And over the years, they've really turned into a mainstream fishing rod.
They are good rods.
And if you haven't used one, I suggest that you go out there and use one. I've been using the same rod that he sponsored me with back in 2012, and I still have it today, and it still is in perfect condition. And I actually bring it on probably, 60-70% of my charters. Normally what I'll do is I'll keep a soft plastic lure on it, just in case I need something to go. And it's my rod, doesn't get handed out, but I've got it. And I've actually using all the rods now. All the rods on my boat are Bull Bay rods. I'm using the assault, the tactical assault. I'm not sure. I think it's assault rifle or something rod.
What's the price point on those?
The price point on those, I want to say they're about $160, $150. It's really
7.5 foot.
7.5 foot. I'm using 7.5 foot medium fast tips sniper rod. I'm sorry, they've changed the names a couple of different times. Another. Mike Anderson's got a rod that he's using, a Signature Series rod that a lot of guys have picked up. And I can tell you from experience, especially throwing artificials, okay, not so much with your live bait, it's just throwing a rod out there. But when you break it down and you get into throwing those artificials, you want something that's sensitive.
You need something that's light.
You want something that's light. And Bull Bay Rods really does a good job. They're a local company, and they will listen to what you have to say. They'll also make a custom rod. You want your name in it. You want a special color. You want any of that kind of stuff, they will do it. Look up Bull Bay Rods on Facebook.com, or they have a website. I think it's bullbayrods.com. Or get a hold of Dustin Phillips or Kelly Phillips on Facebook, or find them through social media. But I can promise you that if you get one of these rods, you will not be disappointed. So I just want to throw that out there. I've re-partnered up with them again this year, and I'm really looking forward to doing some great things with Bull Bay Rods.
I know you're happy with them.
And it's something that I've struggled with over the last couple of years is really getting a rod that I like. and I'm glad that they've got it down to a price point to where it's valuable to me, it's valuable to them, my clients. I don't want to put a $300 rod in a client's hand.
What kind of warranty they got on those?
Lifetime warranty.
There you go.
You break a rod, and I can tell you what, it's a stand-up, attaboy type business. They just opened up. They've got a new building over in Brandon, and you can go down there and design a rod, pick a rod. So it's a really cool thing. So I just wanted to plug them a little bit because they've been really good to me, and they're awesome people. So, and right there, boys,
America.
Made in the USA.
Tiger's saying AR-15, AR-17, and sniper.
Yeah. So there's the.
And if you go on our page and look, you can get
there you go.
The user code and get 20% off.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Good deal.
Well, guys, we got a couple minutes left. It's been a great show. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thanks for hanging with us through the shenanigans, and I hope you learned a couple new things about what's going on in Tampa Bay and maybe make you a little bit better fisherman. Before we close, Tom, sign us off real quick one more time and tell us a little bit about Pirates Point and how they can get a hold of you guys and get a room.
Well, you guys can get a hold of us at 877-641-2052, 813-641-2052. And like I said before, if you guys mention that you heard me on the radio and tell us what radio station you heard us on, or even mention us on the YouTube video, mention that you saw us on the YouTube video, and we'll give you a 15% discount on your room.
Can't beat that.
All right.
Can't beat that.
Tom, thank you for coming.
No, thank you guys for having me. I
coming in
appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, guys, real quick, we're gonna flash up our fishing school one more time, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Look forward to this weekend, man.
It
Everybody
is gonna
signed
be
up.
awesome.
Look forward
And
to
I will
It's
send
gonna
you
be
for the
awesome.
last question of the
The
day.
last question.
Last question of the day.
The last question, guys. Tampa Fishing Outfitters Radio Show Fishing School, January 21st, this Saturday. If you're listening to us on radio, guess what? Too late.
Too late.
But for those of you watching live on Facebook and YouTube, $30.
And
Get you some.
we still got like 6 spots open.
We got a handful of spots left, so
Not
get on
many.
down there and get a hold of us and get signed up, guys. Once again, we appreciate you for tuning in and listening to us here on the radio show, and we look forward to getting back next week and talking a little fishing. It's been another great show. You're listening to Tampa Fishing Outfitters Radio Show on Sports Talk 1040 The Team. We out.
Out.